Hello and welcome to the First Issue Club podcast. We're your weekly comic book reading club where, just like Sue Storm, we love us a good read. It's the week of
NYCC! And we're here.
Yeah.
Never yell calamity, Charlie. NYCC.
Oh,
Wow.
that's what that stands
How
for.
about that?
No, it's just a coincidence. It's in New York.
Yeah.
Interesting. Let's just get this out of the way because I know Vargas is about to pop. There's a new James Bond book coming out.
Okay.
Written by Garth Ennis.
By my boy, Garth
Ennis.
Ennis.
He can officially die.
I'm so stoked.
It's on
man.
Dynamite. It's I'm pretty pumped too. It's gonna be a good series.
All right,
Yeah.
cool.
I haven't even had the wherewithal to look and see who's doing art.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. I've already pre-ordered.
It could be
every
blank
cover.
pages.
That's true.
Do we know if it's a mini or not?
Yeah,
They're all pretty
minis.
self-contained, like
Okay.
5 or 6 issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is perfect for a Bond series.
Oh, for sure.
You want little tastes of his adventures.
Yeah, I don't need to see Bond's downtime. You know,
Just playing online solitaire.
online baccarat.
Waiting for Q to call him.
I don't need any of that.
Any jobs, darling? No? Okay. Well,
Let me check in at the office. No thanks.
guess
Yeah.
I use some of this PTO.
Yeah, I'm pretty jazzed about it, especially considering that he's done so many like Bond adjacent things, like Jimmy's Bastards.
Yeah, right.
Which is basically
Yeah, it's
an
basically
homage
way,
to Bond and
Yeah,
Austin Powers and
way
all those
over
spy-
the top James
Yeah,
Bond,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what he does with the title proper.
Yeah.
Did you ever read Illegitimates?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah, it was really good. If anyone doesn't know, Taron Killam, who used to be on Saturday Night Live, wrote a book that was like, what happened with all these women James Bond slept with?
Yeah.
And he's got like 6 or 7 kids out there that get together and find him.
There's a guy that
And they form like a super team,
I
right?
think they
Yeah.
they form a team.
I'm surprised that like that book was
I think that was on IDW.
was really well done. Got great reviews. I'm surprised he hasn't written anything else.
Well, he wrote a couple volumes of Illegitimates. It's got like a couple series,
I know, but
but beyond that,
yeah, like
Yeah.
he didn't go to Marvel or do an Image book or DC.
I've seen his name pop up on some of those like anthology things where they have different like, well, it's almost like a stunt thing where like, yeah, this person wrote like a 3-page story.
Oh, okay.
I think he's done some of that.
And he's also still very much an actor
Yeah.
and writer. Like, so I mean, I'm sure he's busy with other
Man,
stuff.
Single Parents was one of my favorite
Oh
TV
my
shows.
God, it was really
so good. I was so bummed that got canceled.
Okay, so it did get canceled.
Yes.
Because I know that it ended on a weird cliffhanger.
Huge cliffhanger, yeah.
And then it just never came back. That sucks.
Oh, so 3 people, like the 3 leads from that movie are in the like, is it like a River Wild remake or something?
What?
Taron
Taron Killam.
Killam.
Ray
The-
Romano's brother.
No, what's the guy who was on the OC?
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yep. And then the love interest on Leighton Meester.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 of them are in some like canoe whitewater rafting movie remake.
Okay.
And
Deliverance.
Deliverance?
I don't think it's Deliverance.
it would 100% not be Deliverance.
Deliverance is such a fucking weird movie.
It is
I
a
don't
terrible movie.
I think it's a bad movie too. It's like, I know it's like
it is a rough
considered
watch.
a classic, but it's hard to watch.
Yeah.
On
It's
purpose,
good.
I know.
You think it's good?
Yeah.
Ugh.
There are some things in that movie that I cannot unsee.
I like.
I
that
don't think
they're-
it's bad for that reason. I just think it's like a poorly paced movie that like,
okay. That I'll agree with.
yeah.
I like that they're business guys, and at the end of the movie, they're like, "We never talk about this again, right?"
Yes.
Yeah.
That is like, yeah. It's like a bachelor party gone wrong.
Yeah.
It's just like, we don't talk about
Okay,
any
a lot
this.
of people died, and we're not going to talk
Yeah,
about
and
it.
the guy that squeals like a pig is like, yeah, totally. That'd be great. Well, so we got that. Andy's excited for James Bond.
Yes.
Let's stick with the Dynamite train. Not to be shown up by Image and Skybound. Dynamite has released that they're going to be dropping in 2024 new Thundercats, new Powerpuff Girls, new Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
And
It's like Care Bears or something?
We Bear Bears. It's a Cartoon Network TV show. We Bear Bears. The We Bear Bears was like, it featured a polar bear, a brown bear, and a panda bear living together in a cave.
And they're all naked.
It was
Bears.
Yeah, it was all very, very funny. And then there was someone else that the Flintstones is getting another comic book.
That's right. I hope they bring Mark Russell back. He wrote that first volume, right?
Yeah, I want to bring that. Interestingly enough, most of those books, DC had the licensing to, but I guess didn't either pick it up or lost it to Dynamite.
Yeah, what was the deal there? They bought like all the Hanna-Barbera stuff, I think.
Yeah, and some Warner Brothers.
Or Warner
stuff.
Brothers owned all the Hanna-Barbera
and some
stuff.
Disney stuff too, because Dynamite is releasing Gargoyles and Darkwing Duck stuff,
Right.
which is a Disney property.
Yep.
So they must have. I don't know how that stuff works, but Dynamite is really doubling down on its licensed property stuff.
Disney owns Marvel and IDW.
They own IDW?
Yes.
By proxy, I think.
Interesting.
Oh, maybe it's by proxy. They both release Star Wars comics.
Yes.
IDW does like Star Wars comics for kids.
Yeah, the Adventures stuff.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm not going to be buying any of this stuff.
I'm going to buy Thundercats for sure.
Declan Shalvey is writing the Thundercats. one.
Thundercats. Oh, that's interesting.
And that's kind of what Dynamite does. Like we've seen this happen with Vampirella and Deja Thora. Like they get these like crazy and Red Sonja. They get these crazy creators on these books that you're just like, really? Like Mark Russell's on Red Sonja. Okay, well I guess I'll check that out. And it's like to Dynamite, they don't really care if it goes anywhere because they're gonna sell out all these covers. You know, the black and white, the all red color. Like it doesn't really matter to them, but it is interesting to see.
Well, so we're talking about all these properties that were made for kids in the 80s. Is Darkwing Duck or Gargoyles like written for adults now?
Dude, the first issue of Gargoyles was so horny.
Was it really?
It was very horny.
So horny.
And I think
that's funny.
Gargoyles was never a kids. It wasn't like a
come
kid,
on.
It was a cartoon Saturday morning show.
Yes.
Yeah,
it wasn't like adult, but it wasn't
like a preteen show.
It wasn't
Okay.
like Tiny Toons or anything. Yeah, like you definitely had your own locker at school if you were watching that.
Yeah.
You weren't like in Cubby Town.
Okay.
You had feelings about stuff. If you were watching Gargoyles.
Gargoyles, they have lore. They have, cyborgs from the future. This is some grown-up kid shit.
All right.
And then you turn on Street Sharks.
Yeah, but Darkwing Duck is for kids.
I just don't know if moving all those new things are the thing that DC did with all those properties was
yes.
What if these were noir crime thrillers but with all these classic characters?
Right. And it made him great.
Yeah, and it was kind of fun to see Snagglepuss be a private PI. But
hey, don't forget they made Tom King crossover Elmer Fudd with Batman. They also did that.
Yeah.
It's bat season.
It's so good.
I don't think Dynamite will be doing that. Let's just get that out of the way.
If only.
I think they'll be towing the line pretty hard because I don't know if they saw the success of the Skybound Transformer stuff or they just needed to re-up their IP licensing contract and they just needed to make these. But, the interesting thing is a Wizard of Oz comic like that.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's weird.
Especially when David Pepos has already done it.
A lot of people have
perfected
done it really well. Who writes Alice Never After? Somebody good.
Yeah. Thank you for quizzing me right on the spot. I don't know who writes it.
Yep.
But anyway, so look forward to that, friends of the show and fans of nostalgia. Dynamite in 2024 has you covered.
Thundercats will be featured on the show.
I will probably cover all of them on the show.
Sure.
I think I've OD'd on the nostalgia thing at this point.
You say that now, but I think that something will come along. You'll be like,
Hey, remember how jazzed you were about Stranger Things Ninja Turtles?
That was me, actually.
Oh.
And it was good. It was actually really good. So some more NYCC stuff. As of Thursday, anyway, rapper Kid Cudi drops news of his first comic based on the hidden story behind his music. It'll be releasing on Image Comics in January 2024. I didn't know that there was a hidden message behind Kid Cudi's music, so
Can't wait to buy the David Mack foil variant.
the old metal foil variant. I think Coheed and Cambria kind of did the same thing with their albums, conceptual retellings of their albums.
So did The Weeknd.
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about The Weeknd's comic book because it was not good.
All right, I got one while you're looking.
Yep, go for it.
Did you guys hear about Ghost Machine?
No.
The new creator-owned imprint?
I just saw it right here.
So the only reason I bring it up, so the creators that are the founding members, Jeff Johns, Brad Meltzer, Jason Fabuk, Gary Frank, Brian Hitch, Lamont McGee, Francis Manipul, Peter J. Tomasi, and Madel Zakut. What's bananas is...
Old dudes.
Well, all those guys are going to be exclusive to Ghost Machine once they finish their current stuff.
Oh, okay.
But
Exclusive.
But Ghost Machine's through Image Comics, though, right? I'm just trying to clarify here.
Like, Jeff Johns isn't going to be writing any more DC.
Wow.
Brad Meltzer isn't going to be drawing any more DC. Peter J. Tomasi. Like, these are...
for like a year. For like 2 years, maybe. Until the contract's up.
I mean, these are big names.
These are big names.
Mm-hmm.
And like this is going to spill out from like the Junkyard Joe and like Geiger stuff, right?
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see, because this, I mean, the same thing as the distillery people. It's just like, hey, we're all buddies in the industry, and we're all like creative powerhouses who say, like, if you're a James Tinian type or I'm trying to think of some of the other distillery people. Ram V. You are the sort of writers who have, or artists in the case of the artists, who have enough fans that it's like, I'll just automatically buy whatever you create. And if they move to these publishers or imprints that they say, well, I'm just doing all of my stuff here now, like, I think it'll be interesting to see in like 3 or 4 years if all the talent that you're gaga for finds that works and they start doing it all themselves versus writing for a larger publisher. But I think it's tougher too, because you've got all these people who it's like, it's my dream job to write Batman.
Yeah.
Or like, oh my God, writing a run on Spider-Man is an absolute honor. So I don't think that the big two will ever have a problem.
No.
But maybe once you really establish yourself at some point, you decide you're ready to graduate to your own thing if you want to write creator-owned things.
For sure.
Well, we see that all like Mark Millar has one, Sean Murphy has one.
Well, we see it all. So we see that individually all the time.
Right.
We don't see these large collective groups that have added security and like maybe a collected universe together.
You're right.
And we don't see any of those people being like, we're not going to write.
Well, Rick Remender just did it.
At other publishers.
Yeah, but Remender's like still just one guy.
Yes.
Right?
But he's also bringing in other people to help. I see what you're saying. Like, a collective is not being formed.
The collective is the point of the conversation.
Yeah.
Well, and that they're exclusive to it, I think is a really interesting caveat. Yeah. Like, imagine if all the distillery people were like, we're only going to write distillery
only writing
stuff.
This, yeah.
That would be a fucking bombshell.
Yeah. I think maybe in a few years, maybe that happens.
Yeah, they might.
Maybe they see these things at Image with that collective go really well, and they're like, okay, our distillery stuff sold really well, and people are just like buying every distillery release. Let's just
I could certainly
move our shit over here.
I could certainly see them signing people to exclusive contracts for sure. But to be like, all these people, all these huge names from the get-go are exclusive, that's just wild.
Yeah.
I could not believe it.
It'd be interesting to see what how the money works out there. I mean, I won't have any insight into how the money works out, but it just makes you curious as to like, do you have someone who's like maybe a little more of a powerhouse in your collective.
Yeah, his name is Jeff Johns.
Yeah, it's like Jeff. Everyone's buying the Jeff Johns stuff, and is he getting more ownership? Is
Right.
he salty because he's not getting he's good because he has equal ownership as everyone else? Like that stuff's going to be really tricky.
Yeah.
It's tough for me to say that that's going to be like the new trend. Like with this that's happening right now is like all the characters in this collective like are all in the same universe. Like it'd be different if like it was like a distillery thing where it's high profile creators in a collective that are like writing their own separate stories with no attachment. But with this one, I think it's just they want to expand the Geiger universe wider, and so they're just like linking up for 1 or 2 years to see what they can make. Because I think like a movie or a TV show is coming out from.
Is it really?
Yeah, from
wow.
the Jeff Johns book. So.
Well, whatever Peter J. Tomasi puts out, I'm picking up because I love that dude.
Yeah.
Last bit of news that I have here: DC Elseworld is coming back.
Hell yeah!
It is recently announced that 6 new titles will be flagship for 2024 release, and they are Gotham by Gaslight, The Kryptonian Age, Batman the Barbarian, Dark Knights of Steel, All Winter, Green Lantern Dark, Batman Nightfire, and DC vs. Vampires World War V.
Just to clarify, that Dark Knights of Steel book is DC but Vikings. So I'm super fucking stoked on that one.
The All Winter one?
Yeah.
Yeah. All those sound really cool. There's, some returns to some old Elseworld stuff with the Gotham by Gaslight and the DC vampire stuff. Like they struck gold with that, so they're gonna drain every last ounce of life from it.
It's cool that they're doing Gotham by Gaslight because that was the first Elseworld book.
Correct.
Yes.
So it's kind of like a fun homage to that.
Yeah.
I love the idea of it. I mean, they were already writing Elseworld books.
Mm-hmm.
It's just nice to have like a label on it, so me as a fan can identify like that's this thing sitting over here.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's more likely to make me go like, oh, I'll read up on the synopsis and see what this is before I buy it, rather than only buying one issue, being pissed about it, not buying any subsequent issues. I think it's better for everyone to just like understand what you're getting into.
What's going to be interesting to me is to see the difference between this Elseworld stuff and the Black Label stuff.
So,
like, are they going to make a more of a differentiation
Yes.
on the Black Label where it's like that's going to go really hard into the adult theme stuff? Because like
I think Black Label's already establishing its own universe within itself.
Oh, really?
but they're not going to cross. They don't cross over like with anything.
No,
right?
but like they're all the kind of the same tone, and like I think Elseworld, they're just like getting to explore different themes, different ideas, like.
but still
they're not-
like
they're not
closer to mainline DC characterizations, right?
Yeah, but like I've always seen the Elseworld stuff of just like, hey, what if Batman was a pirate? And like that's the kind of stuff that I liked about it, because like I've gone on record saying that DC does alternate reality Elseworld stuff way better than anyone.
Yeah.
They really play in that world, and I really enjoy it. And I think you're right with Black Label. They're leaning more into like
it's
realistic.
It's serious.
Yeah.
And more. Yeah, it's more self-serious. And some of it was just that it was for a while anyway. I don't know if it's necessarily this way anymore, but for a while it was like this is more premium format. Like all the covers had like semi-gloss, and some of them were magazine sized.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of an imprint to do a little more prestige stuff sometimes.
Yeah. Like Elseworld essentially is, in my opinion, more nuanced What If.
Sure.
And that's what I mean. I love What If, and I love Elseworld stuff. So this is a very exciting announcement.
It's What If
for
that
me.
doesn't have to be contained to a single issue, which
Right.
is like a better scenario.
Yeah.
I sent you guys a bit of news yesterday, which I don't know if this has been discussed all hell at this point, but the fact that the Daredevil production like full on stopped.
Mhm.
Yep.
That they're rebooting the reboot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's wild to me about that is that they were filming.
Yeah, think about how much money you've put into it at this point.
Yeah.
To be like, okay, we're pulling the plug and kind of starting over.
I think they can probably reuse some of this, like, I'm sure there's a lot of stuff they can reuse.
They fired all the writers and directors.
Yeah.
Like,
but like,
I'm sure they own the
cutscenes.
stuff. And
yeah, sure.
of
Yeah.
traffic. they can
Charlie
use.
Cox walking down the street. Yeah.
Yeah, they may reuse parts of episodes or even cobble together new episodes out of like other parts of things. But apparently, I think in this newer one, Daredevil doesn't suit up until the 4th or 5th episode was kind of the rumor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when the higher ups saw it, they were just like, "What is this? Like, we're already
It's a procedural. It's a law show.
Hell yeah.
yeah." And they're like, we already had him show up in She-Hulk as like a fun crime fighter guy, and the Netflix shows have established him already, and
Yeah.
those are canon now. So it's like we shouldn't really be starting over with him as like, here's a law guy, and then he grows his way into Daredevil.
Right.
So
They're gonna fuck it up, is what they're doing.
you think it's going to be worse than it would have been if
I
they
think
didn't
they're-
pull the plug
I
on
think
it?
they're gonna not trust the audience to make that connection.
To make what connection?
That he can be Daredevil, or he can be Matt Murdock for 4 episodes, running a law business and not pop out and be Daredevil.
Yeah.
I know who this character is, and it's fun to see him do a real fucking job for once.
I know. Especially if those first 4 episodes were him, like, I don't know, say, giving up on being a superhero and embracing his Catholicism.
Yeah.
And deciding that the world doesn't actually need costumed heroes.
Or him just trying to track down.
you do that for 4 episodes, though?
Sure.
And
It's
or
called
a-
character growth.
Or a side a storyline of him trying to track down if the Kingpin's actually dead.
Yeah.
Like,
Or prosecuting Kingpin.
like build up. That's like having sex on the first date.
yeah, bro.
Let it linger.
I hate it.
I think Kevin Feige
Mhm.
kind of understands what fans like.
He doesn't know shit.
You don't think so?
I'm kidding. Kevin, I'm kidding. You know I'm joking.
I think he kind of understands the like tone and like what people didn't like about She-Hulk and what people didn't like about Secret Invasion, but what they really liked about Loki. And I think he probably made an informed decision with his higher ups to reformat to like a different thing. So I kind of trust that maybe this was like a good move long term.
I also read something, and I didn't quite understand. I don't understand it because I don't know how TV development works or whatever. But like, I guess in Phase 4 they did something different with like how they hired creative teams. Like they would hire like a writing
showrunner.
Yeah, they didn't have a showrunner, so everything was like disjointed, and that's why there was like no real cohesiveness in a lot of the shows, and that was the biggest complaint by basically everyone, not including fans and like the executives of Marvel, of just like everything seemed so
One-off.
scattered and
Yeah.
one-off. And I mean that can work with some shows, but like to have a whole phase built up like that, I don't know if that was like an experiment on, Feige's end of just like, does this make financial sense? Does this make creative sense?
I think they're already spending so much damn money on it. It's like, do it right.
right,
Yeah.
Hire the person that's like a proven position.
and and well, now with the writer and actor strike over, the new deal that the writers have now is just like writers' room guaranteed. You know what I mean? Like we need a showrunner, we need a writing room on every show just to make sure that everything makes fucking sense.
Did the actor strike end?
The actor strike's still going on. The writer strike is over.
Okay, so I misspoke. We stand with the actors, I guess.
What I was kind of wondering about was like, the writers went on strike, and then the actors went on strike, and everyone was like, nice. Like not only are
Sick.
not only are the actors also gonna fight for what they want, but they're standing in solidarity with the writers.
Correct.
And then the writers got their deal, and they were like,
Deuces.
back to work. And part of me was like, should they have waited for SAG to get their deal? I don't know enough about like unions and striking.
I think. Well, SAG
Clearly,
wants
none
more
of us are union.
Yeah.
because SAG wants better residual pay for actors and
And
stuff.
yeah, streaming residuals is a big thing.
Because
Sure.
like it came out that like one of the examples was the lead actors for Breaking Bad don't make
Yeah.
residuals for any of the episodes.
That's wild.
Which is nuts.
Yeah. Right.
So
Would that have been on TV syndication? Which is basically what streamers have replaced as those channels.
Yeah.
Right.
They'd be making buckets of money. It's like, why is it any different?
So I think that negotiation is a lot harder to hammer out than I would imagine a writer's negotiation.
Interesting. What else did I see? I saw a bunch of Amber Heard and Jason Momoa.
Why are
Aquaman
they even
2.
releasing Aquaman 2?
Is Aquaman 2, is it part of the thing that James Gunn came out and was like, here's what's part of the thing and here's what's not part of the thing? Did he even mention Aquaman 2?
No one gives a shit about Aquaman 2.
No.
Write it off.
The big thing that supposedly is coming out from it is that Jason Momoa will be cast again, but as Lobo.
Yeah, that's the rumor.
In the James Gunn stuff.
Oh, wow. That's wild.
Which is just like, duh, that's what he should have been in the beginning.
What they should do is can Aquaman 2 and swap it for that Batgirl movie.
Yes, 100%.
I'm so curious about that thing.
I bet it was fucking awesome, and that's why they canned it.
I wonder if at some point that'll leak.
Yeah, somebody needs to steal it from WB.
Yeah, where's that Temu code?
For Temu code. Stop.
TikTok. Anyone? We read a buttload of comics, so let's get into it.
Fucking boatload.
Can we just get Army of Darkness out of the way now?
Hell yeah.
Let's get into it.
So I'll say I'm a huge Army of Darkness fan. Army of Darkness is probably my favorite movie. And Greg brought this up.
Yeah.
Brought this to my attention before the show that this book might not be for everyone.
No. So the point I was making was, so I like Army of Darkness well enough. I know what it is. I know the cultural impact of the series, and I love Bruce Campbell. However, this comic book is based off of an alternate ending of a DVD.
Yeah, it's a sequel to an alternate ending of a movie from 30 years ago.
And that, I mean, but I still understood what this comic was.
Yeah.
Because what it is just Ash in 3 different time periods.
Correct.
And that's an easy concept to swallow.
Yeah.
As long as you know that he has a chainsaw for a hand and fights demons, you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
And he says boomstick.
He does. As a fan of the movie, I did not like, however, that the first 7 pages were just like a recap of the movie.
Okay, but I needed that.
I know.
I needed that.
But as somebody who's watched the movie every year for the past 20 years,
Yeah.
I didn't need that.
I felt like it was done well enough where it wasn't so wordy and the way they paneled it and all that was kind of cool. So, if you're a big Army of Darkness fan, you can just flip the 3 pages
for sure
past that and then get into what the story is.
Yeah,
which I guess is just Ash in the far future, 2093.
Correct.
Ash in the present, fighting bad Ash.
Well, we find out that Ash in the present is evil Ash.
Yes. Oh, right. Right.
Because in the past, in the Middle Ages, the Deadite army resurrects evil Ash, and he travels to the correct time, whereas our good hero Ash sleeps too long and ends up in the future.
Yes. So if you're not confused, you're confused now. But it was fun, and it's going to be a hell of a ride. I don't know if this is a limited.
Oh, it's definitely a limited.
Yeah, there's no way that can be online.
Written by Tony Flex, which he's such a killer writer.
Yep.
So it was fun.
Yeah.
I had a good time reading it.
That's a cool concept to just take, especially for a movie that has such a rabid cult following.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
To take a potential ending and spin off of it. I love that idea.
Yeah. And especially too because this is the Army of Darkness comics in the past, the ongoing series, spin off from the theatrical ending.
Yeah,
which is cool. And now it's a fun chance to see
what if they chose the ending B?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I've always had this tender soft spot for Army of Darkness because it was my first realization of what like a cult movie was, because it always seemed like a thing that all the kids that wore a lot of black in my school would always talk about in like junior high. And I hung out with those people, and I was like, it was a scary movie to me at the time, so I never watched it because I don't like scary stuff. But like everyone would rave about what Army of Darkness was, and represents, and Bruce Campbell was like their god.
He is.
He is a god.
Yep. I loved it. 10 out of 10. Would recommend.
Did you also read Capwolf?
I got it right here, baby.
Let's talk about that.
Okay. Dope. I didn't realize Stephanie Phillips was writing this.
Yep, and it was a banger.
Yeah.
So
I'm a sucker for any World War II Cap story, just from the get-go.
Yeah, this was definitely just like a Medal of Honor.
Yeah.
Howling Commando story.
Yeah. It ripped. That's like most of the book. Is Captain America teams up with the Howling Commandos because Sergeant Fury like takes a bullet to the leg or something. So they drop in to infiltrate the secret Nazi base, and they find werewolves.
Yes,
that's bread and butter.
That is the meat and potatoes of this story, and it's good. It's super good. The last panel is Captain America turning into said Capwolf, and I assume from there it's just going to be more werewolf stuff.
That's my guess. There is that weird like cult lady working with the Nazis that I was not privy to her before. So that'll be interesting. We might get more.
Is she making the werewolves?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So we might get more, I don't know, paranormal spookiness from her. Maybe we get Nazi vampires. Maybe we get Nazi Frankensteins.
Yeah. It definitely had like a Hellboy kind of tinge to it.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. This is already a thing, right?
Capwolf? Yes.
Yeah.
But not like this.
Okay, this is like an alternate story than the.
Correct.
Okay.
Because in the main line,
it's actual canon. He turned into a wolf thing, right?
he turned into a werewolf.
And he formed the wolf pack.
Correct.
Not a joke. That's what they called it.
Yeah, but that was like he was turned by the whatever. What's the stone that Jameson has? The J. Jonah Jameson's kid. Goes to the moon.
The moonstone?
The moonstone.
Oh, yeah.
He was turned in because of the moonstone. So he like retained the super soldier serum, let him like retain his like
wherewithal.
Yeah, wherewithal, and like I swear to God, it's like Wolfsbane had to like teach him how to talk in werewolf form, and he fought Wolverine. There was a whole like wolf-centric storyline where all these wolf-esque characters like fought each other.
Was this in the 80s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. He had his litter box. It was wild. But it was cool. I also like, the Medal of Honor, like World War II stories, especially like in like the Marvel DC stuff. They always have fun with it. But adding Captain America as a werewolf is just a fun bonus. And it's October. It's spooky month.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, this book's going to drop at this time.
Yeah.
And I think, Andy, you're going to be dropping some Capwolf knowledge over on the Patreon.
Yeah. I'm working on a retrospective of all like Capwolf's appearances.
Oh, cool.
And
okay.
I'm
That's
trying,
exactly what I need.
I'm trying to keep them somewhat organized.
Yeah.
It's a little bit difficult because it's tough to figure out like, is this the same continuity? Is this whatever? But yeah, I'll get it figured out and I'll get it up there.
Yeah. Patreon.com/firstissue-club to see that article when it finally goes up.
Yeah. I'll have it done before the end of the month for sure.
You heard it here first, folks. Real quick, I read Space Usagi by Stan Sakai. It was not what I expected.
He doesn't go to space.
He doesn't.
Oh, wow.
Space comes to him.
It starts out with like this typical Usagi story of him in feudal Japan fighting, and then it ends with an ancestor of Usagi in the future. I'm assuming Space Usagi, and his like daughter reading manga about Usagi Yojimbo.
That's dope.
And then from there, I think it's going to turn into a space style story.
Yeah.
But the first one is very much, it was so disorienting. I'm like, did I read the wrong book?
Yeah.
You got the wrong cover staple.
Oh shit, I should get this slapped.
Stan Sakai at this point is like, I don't need to rush this story.
Honestly, that's 100% true.
I've written like 500 Usagi books.
But it's still so smoking good. Like, Stan Sakai has just cemented his lane of just like, this is my fucking samurai shit, and I'm so good at it. And every book is a banger. So that was the other one that I read, along with. Did you read it too?
So good.
The Batman
City of Madness.
City of Madness by Christian Ward.
Yeah.
Dude, it was so fucking good.
It was so good. I didn't know where it was going to go.
The ending threw me for a loop.
Yeah.
It is for context of the story, it's about family, and it's about
Stealing DVD players.
Yeah, the Court of Owls is back.
Yep.
And Talon's in it, and then we, on a flip of a dime, get this like Eldritch Cthulhu story and like a revenge story about a son who got his father was killed by a cop by accident or like a mistaken identity, and like every theme that you can't possibly imagine working this in a same singular story, Christian has put in here, and it's all flowing so well.
Yeah. Here's the way I read the book. I don't know if this is going to end up being what it is.
Mm-hmm.
What I think happens, because there's the story revolves around the Court of Owls protecting this door in underground Gotham. I think that door leads to like Bizarro Gotham, where it's just like horror.
That was kind of the impression I was getting.
It's like horror universe Gotham.
Yeah.
And the Cthulhu Batman we see is that version of Batman.
Yes.
And he has come to
Get a Robin.
To get a
essentially.
Robin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we see a lot of this book revolves around Two-Face.
Oh my God.
Getting like messages in his head from a third Two-Face.
And the split
Three-Face.
is below it, like the split's like the
He's hamburger.
yeah
The
alter hot dog Two-Face, he's hamburger Two-Face.
Yeah. So there's this like third Two-Face that shows up at the end. But I mean, the book is absolutely wild.
Christian Ward's depiction of Two-Face may be my favorite.
Yeah.
Two-Face depiction. It is like just this dissociative disorder, like back and forth, and like the way he draws the corrupt side or whatever. It was brilliant. Yeah. It was so good.
Yeah, and he really uses his art. Like, obviously, it's easy to tell when you have like the weird crookedy like speech bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
But he uses the way he draws Two-Face to indicate which persona's in charge, which I think is really interesting.
Right.
Like, he really exemplifies the weirdness of the messed up side when the messed up side is in charge, and vice versa.
Yeah, cool.
Anyway.
It was great. And then like, so Alfred is really going through it in this Batman book.
He's like the Lovecraft insert character of this book.
Yeah.
Like reflecting on his humanity and like what it means to be a citizen of Gotham and be in charge of Batman.
Yeah, because Alfred essentially feels like he is the caretaker of Bruce Wayne, who
by proxy, Gotham City.
Yeah.
Well, and like he's just waiting for that night to hear that Bruce Wayne has finally snapped and goes crazy. And like he's already mourning the fact that he's failed Gotham.
Yeah.
That he's unleashed this beast onto the city. And you're just like, holy shit, Alfred, go see a psychiatrist or something. Like, this is rough.
Yeah. It's a great book. This is probably going to be the book of the year, I think.
Oh, you think so?
I think so, man.
Oh, I don't know.
Give an Eisner buzz.
I don't know.
Is this one nominated for an Eisner, Greg?
No.
You don't think so?
Oh, I think it will be.
That's what I'm asking.
I thought you said was it already. I was like, I think we just had the Eisners.
Oh yeah. Well,
But a book of the year nod this early is wild.
I mean, it's so good.
I did the same thing with Friday when it came out.
the year's almost over.
And
I think it's only 3, right?
I think so.
Yeah, so it'll be wrapped up before the end of the year.
And it's just Christian Ward. He wrote it and did art. So I don't know.
What was the format of this? Is it normal
Oh, it's a big old boy.
That's what I thought.
It's a magazine.
Okay.
It's 12 inches by 12 inches. It's way too big.
Yeah, you remember when I brought in Masterplasty? It's that big.
Yeah, okay. The size of my torso.
Yep. What else did you read, Greg?
I think that's it for me, actually. Yeah, that's all I read this week.
Okay. I read a couple more. I read Wesley Dobbs' Sandman, which is the first of DC's 3 new Golden Age books. So this takes place in the 40s with the original Sandman. And it's just a straight up noir story. He's looking for somebody who stole the failed experiments that he did when he was trying to create his sleep gas. That are just basically like 100 different ways to make like cyanide gas or like mustard gas. So
way to go, Sandman.
So somebody steals that and then burns down his house. So the book's going to be him looking for them. So if you want a 1940s set noir story, you've got one.
Written by friend of the pod, Robert Venditti.
Yes, he's been on 2 times, I believe.
I think so.
He's our best friend.
He's our bud.
I also read A Haunted Girl by Ethan and Naomi Sachs. This is about a
haunted girl.
A haunted girl. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the elevator pitch that Ethan writes in this is a suicidal girl who doesn't want to live anymore is responsible for saving all of humanity.
What a twist.
What a twist. He said he wrote it after his daughter was institutionalized for going through some depression and suicidal ideation. So presumably this will be about, overcoming that.
Yeah.
And
sounds like a pretty personal story.
Well, and she helped write it. Naomi's his daughter.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So 4-issue series, again, cost of entry is pretty low.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really solid book. There's a lot of horror elements to it too. There's like a haunting, both in the sense that like you are haunted by the demons that you can't see and demons that you can see. Mm-hmm. So
right on.
Super, super good.
Yeah, that's great.
Would recommend.
Whoa.
And then I also read American Psycho.
I thought about getting this because I think I might have messaged you guys.
Yeah.
I remember being like, is this one of those things that's going to be worth like $300? And I'm going to be like, what the fuck? It seems like it could be one of those things.
That happened with your like cyberpunk book or whatever, didn't it?
John Wick.
John
sorry.
Wick, yeah. But speaking of cyberpunk, I just saw that book's been skyrocketing because,
of course,
the one DLC just came out for it, and 2, I think they announced that they're going to do something with the Trauma team.
Yeah.
Cullen Bunn miniseries, I think. Didn't he write it?
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
And we covered that on the podcast years ago, and I loved that miniseries.
We actually just got an email from Cullen wanting to come on and talk about some stuff.
Hell yeah.
Ooh.
Can we get him on for spooky time?
Yeah.
Dope. So anyway, American Psycho, this is kind of an adaptation, kind of a spin-off of the movie, not necessarily the book by Bret Easton Ellis. But it takes the point of view of like a guy who ends up seeing Patrick Bateman kill someone, but the guy himself is also not all there in the head. So I'm guessing this is going to follow that same format where this guy is watching Patrick like slowly lose it over the course of, that basically the climax of the movie.
Yeah.
But there's also a spin on this too, where in present day, there is like another American Psycho like showing up. So there's this girl who goes to a club and she almost gets raped, but she gets saved. But then the guy who was assaulting her gets stabbed in an alley, and someone drops that girl's ID on the dead body. Okay. So the murderer is framing this girl. We don't know anything why. Presumably those two stories will cross over at some point.
I feel like this is a safe enough space to admit or share something. I've never seen this movie.
Oh, it's fine. It's kind of like a college bro movie where like, bro, you've never seen Fight Club?
That's the kind of like where I wrap it in the same realm of just
For sure.
like
It's very much that Fight Club sort of fan where it's like
it's like this Donnie Darko
at the time
Fight Club.
at the time when you're younger and see it, you're like, whoa, this changed the way my brain chemistry works. But now you watch it and it's just like machismo bullshit, and you're kind of like, this guy's not like, nobody in Fight Club is a hero. They're all like fucking losers.
It's the same way you watch like Starship Troopers. When you're young, you're like, yeah, this rocks. Look at him shoot that gun. And now you're like, oh, I get it. The military is really bad.
yeah, right.
Yeah, it's the same thing here.
Okay, cool. So don't need to watch it. Perfect.
It's a good movie, but the comic book
Is it better?
also good.
Oh, okay.
It's
Comparable to the movie.
I'm glad it wasn't just a straight up adaptation of the movie. I'll say that.
That would have been boring.
More than a good movie, I would say this performance is what made
Christian Bale.
Bale a star.
For sure.
It's like an unbelievable performance.
Yeah.
And I think he played the character in a way that like the writers like didn't expect. He had like kind of a different take on how like insecure this guy like actually was, and that ended up like influencing the role quite a bit.
And I'll say this too. This was the only cover they had at my shop, so I got what I got.
Yeah,
But there is a variant cover.
it's like a still from the movie. I've seen that one.
There's that one. The one that I wanted was the whole cover is his business card from that scene in the movie.
Oh, cool.
And there's like a blood splatter on it. Like, that's the one to have.
Have you seen the business card scene? It's parodied like
Yeah.
to all hell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, I have.
Have you seen the one where he draws the Sonic fan art? That's the best one.
I've seen the Pokemon card one.
yeah.
I've seen
Yeah.
everything you can imagine.
Okay, good.
Such a lampooned scene.
So, American Psycho, and it's out on Sumerian, so it costs $5.
So
All their
ready.
stuff is so expensive.
So one of the a news thing I forgot to mention that I saw the other day was there's a lot of speculation that Hush is going to be the villain in the newest Batman movie.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I think some of the creatives were on a podcast and they kind of hinted at it, and everyone was like,
They said, hush, hush.
"Oh yeah, you remember when there was like this whole online thing with the Riddler as like a promotion for the first movie?"
Yeah.
And once the online community solved it, the final thing you got was like a bunch of words that were like, be quiet, shush, like stuff like that.
Oh, huh.
And so they were like, oh, this whole time that was like a clue for where they were going to probably go with the next movie.
Sweet. Hush would be cool.
Yeah.
Hush is like an easy one to
For sure.
portray.
And it's a cool thing from Bruce Wayne's like familial past too. And I love that kind of aspect of bringing Gotham history into a movie in that way, because that's something I love so much about the Batman universe and series, is that like
He's hurt so many people.
it is just that the Wayne family and the imprint that they left on Gotham, but none of the movies have really, like, to my knowledge anyway, maybe some of the shows that I haven't seen have, but they really haven't like taken a backwards look at Gotham aside from, what was the TV show? Was the TV show just called Gotham?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I never watched that. Did you guys? I
No.
guess that was kind of the concept of that show. Was Bruce Wayne's a little boy in it?
Yep.
Yeah, I need to watch that. But yeah, love the idea of bringing like old world Gotham back into a newer Batman movie is cool.
Yeah.
And then
So snatch up your Batman 806 or whatever.
yeah. And then
Gotham, the TV show Gotham always seemed like the Muppet Babies version
It kind of was.
of the Batman universe. 'Cause
I
you had,
never-
like mini Catwoman, mini Poison Ivy, and it's like, what are we doing here?
I never took it seriously.
What are we doing?
I think because of some of the imagery I'd seen from it like that.
Hey, we got our first live action Professor Pig in there, so I was a happy camper.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
I guess the Joker was cool in that.
Jokers.
Okay,
Multiple, baby. And then Andy told us the other day that there is a
This is the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Lady Hush, or a she Hush, if you will, which has been shortened to Shush.
That's her name. It's Shush.
Her name is Shush.
I don't know
I thought
if that's a bit.
I thought was a joke when Vargas texted us. He was like,
And I was like, that's pretty good.
I was like, that's really funny, man.
That is what it's called.
But
that issue came out this week.
That issue came out this week. It's like Batman and Robin 2.
Yep.
So
Shush. Get your Shush first.
Get your Shush first appearance.
First appearance.
I've been pulling that book, so it'll be.
I have decided to start calling her Shush and regular Hush. I'm going to call him He Hush now.
Hush. Yeah, that's great.
He Shush.
He Shush.
I am He Shush.
Hush.
Good shit.
Oh, is that it? Did we
That's
cover
it.
them all?
That's the whole stack.
Wow. Well, thank you for going along with us on the journey of First Issue Club. Watch out on our socials this weekend where we will try to be dropping the breaking news from NYCC as it happens. But you can always tune in next week when we will be covering the retrospective of NYCC and all the hot breaking news that happened. X-Men stuff will happen. Batman stuff will happen. It's all going to happen. So tune in next week to hear about it.
Hell yeah.
And I'll be at LA Comic-Con in a couple months. I don't think there's going to be as much news there.
But you'll be reporting live.
It'll be fun to report firsthand on the stuff that's happening there. So I'm looking forward to that.
Love it.
Bye. First Issue Club is edited and produced by Mike DeStacy, Greg Lichtag, and Andy Vargas. Follow us on social media at First Issue Club, and check out our Patreon for videos, audio, and more at patreon.com/firstissueclub.